Hey everybody, it's Gage here. Excited to have you with me for another episode of Battle of the Blades. In today's episode, we are talking about Santoku, and specifically we have the 165mm Santoku from Anryu-san. Beautiful Damascus finish, red Pakawood handle, made from VG10 stainless steel. Next is the Tsunehisa 165mm Santoku with Damascus finish, brown Pakawood Western style handle on it. This guy's made from ZA18 stainless steel. And finally, we have the Sakon Ginga Nashiji Octagrip Santoku at 180mm. This guy's made from Ginsan stainless steel. So all the three knives that we're working with today are stainless steel. We're gonna put them through some tests here, and hopefully that will help you guys decide which knife may be right for you. We are going to go through the following three tests: the onion test, the carrot test, and the bell pepper test. We feel like these three vegetables give a really good idea as to how the knife is going to perform. So stay tuned, we're gonna chop some stuff up, and we'll give you our honest opinion as we go through. First and foremost though, we're gonna do a preliminary just feel in the hand test. So with the Anryu, you've got your balance point right about here. This is a little bit further back towards the handle than I typically would go for. Generally, I like something a little bit more sort of around here, but it still feels fantastic in the hand. And the spine and fit and finish on this guy is really nice. The handle feels very nice in the hand, and just a really overall light, nimble, great feeling knife in the hand. The steel is VG10. You're probably familiar with VG10, really great steel. Rockwell hardness is gonna be around 61, 63. So that's gonna give you really solid edge retention, and I find VG10 has pretty easy sharpening as well. This guy's quite thin behind the edge, not super thin at the spine, but really I suspect it's gonna have a really nice cutting feel on it, so excited to try this guy out. Next, the Tsunehisa, made from ZA18. That is, from the reading I've done, it's a new steel to me. It's supposed to be very similar to VG10 with slight upticks in some of the elements that are added. So it's meant to perform at about the same level, if not exceed the performance of VG10. Balance point on this guy is a little further back in the handle, so even further back than I would typically prefer, but this knife has a really sort of European style feel to it. So if you really like a knife that's got the Japanese aesthetic, the Japanese steel, but with more of a Western style feel to it, this guy might be right up your alley. Excited to try this guy out though. Finally, we've got the most affordable knife in our battle today, being the Sakon Ginga. This guy made from Ginsan. Ginsan is said to be the most similar stainless steel to carbon steels in that it's very easy to sharpen and it takes a really, really keen edge. I really love Ginsan as well. We've been trying to get more and more of these guys in. Balance point on this guy's a little further forward, which is more to my liking. Really nice feel in the hand. Fit and finish on this guy is good. The spine could maybe be a little smoother. The choil, same story, but the handle is very nicely done. No bumps, gaps, or spaces there. And like I said, balance point is a little more to where I would prefer it. So there you have it. First look at these three knives. Let's get into chopping some stuff. Okay, let's get into some cutting tests here. We're gonna start with the carrot with the Anryu Santoku. Really excited to try this guy out. Very resemblant of other Takefu knives. Anryu-san just recently retired, if I'm not mistaken, so his apprentice has been making knives under the Anryu name. I guess he's not an apprentice anymore though. So let's try this guy out. So yeah. Carrot on the tip feels really nice. Jake always loves when I do the big fat side with the carrot slices, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah, real nice. Little stickiness there on the lengthwise cut, but that's to be expected on a Santoku. Like these shorter knives are always going to have a little bit of a tougher time with root veg, I find. So we'll see how the other knives perform on that test. Not the stickiest blade in the world either. It doesn't have the best food release in the world, I would say, but overall the cutting feels really, really nice. I have no trouble at all with these carrots, and though there are some carrots getting stuck to the blade as I'm cutting, they're wiping off the knife quite easily. Not bad by any means, just not, we've been doing some of these battle of the blades, and we've been testing out some pretty sweet blades at the longer end, so that might be skewing my perception a little bit, but let's move on to the next knife and see how it performs with the carrots. Next up, we'll do the Sakon Ginga Nashiji with the carrot. Here we go. Yeah, and like no problem with this guy. This is also our most affordable knife that we're checking out right now. It does have a little bit of extra length, which might be lending it a little hand here on the carrots. Yeah, that was great as well. Yeah, I'm surprised, to be honest with you. I figured I really thought the Anryu was gonna like blow all the other knives out of the water on this test, but this Sakon Ginga is really holding its own here on the carrots. Okay, so through 2 knives, the Sakon Ginga is going to be my favorite with the carrots, but we got 1 more to go. So let's see what happens with the Tsunehisa Santoku. Carrot test, here we go. Okay, so I'm going to say this is my least favorite so far of all the knives I've tested with carrots. Maybe I wouldn't say my least favorite. I would say it's about on point with the Anryu. So both really solid knives. Going through our carrots here with relative ease. Bye, carrot. It still feels great, and it's still very sharp. Food release on this guy, I would say, is about the same as on the Anryu knife as well. It's not overly sticky, but it's certainly stickier than the Sakon Ginga was. It does the handle on this guy feels really, really nice. It's a little chunkier than I would say is normal for a knife of this size, but it's really filling up my hand nicely, and it feels really, really great in the hand. So through 3 knives, all 3 performed really well. I would be stoked with any of these cutting carrots, but I have to give the edge to the Sakon Ginga on our carrot test. So through 1 test, we've got 1 point to the Sakon Ginga, 0 to Anryu, and 0 to Tsunehisa. Let's move on to the onion test. We started with the Anryu last time, so we'll start where we finished off with the Tsunehisa here on the onion test. Here we go. Ooh-wee, that felt really nice. I was a little nervous to see how this guy did on some of the other ones. The carrot felt good, like I said, but not fantastic. So I was a little nervous that this guy wasn't going to be great for much of anything. But that julienne, that felt fantastic. Okay, onion test over with the Tsunehisa. Really impressed with this guy. It's definitely redeemed itself from the carrot. Not that it performed poorly with the carrot, but I would say it was probably one of my least favorites of the 3 that we tested out here. On the onion, though, different story. Fantastic going through the julienne. Felt really, really nice. The dice felt awesome as well. And the handle on this guy really is making me love this knife. It feels fantastic in the hand. It's really nice and chunky. So yeah, really stoked on that guy through the onion. Let's test out some more knives though. Onion test, Sakon Ginga Nashiji. Here we go. Oh man, I'm really digging this knife. If this handle from the Tsunehisa was on this knife, I feel like we'd have a very clear standout winner. Okay, very, very nice. I would. It's hard to give an edge one way or the other. They both performed really, really well on this test. I'm gonna say we're at about a tie going through the 2 first knives on the onion here. I'm getting really emotional, so maybe I'll just take a quick break here, and then we'll get into the Anryu onion test. All right, guys, final knife with the onion. We've got the Anryu. Here we go. Okay. Anryu coming on strong here. That felt amazing. Real nice. I was a little disappointed with this guy in the carrot, but on the onion test, holy man, that felt really, really nice. This is probably the lightest of the 3, not by a ton, but I definitely felt it doing my dice and my julienne. Maybe because it's a little more in line with what I'm used to using, something on the lighter and thin behind the edge side. But I'm going to give the edge to the Anryu for the onion test. All 3 knives were super close. I would put the Sakon Ginga and the Tsunehisa in a very close second, tied with one another. So close race going into the 3rd and final challenge, which is the bell pepper. Here we go. All right, third and final test here is the bell pepper. We're gonna start with the Sakon Ginga. Very impressed with this knife. It keeps really outperforming my expectations here. Feels really nice in the hand. It may be partly due to the extra length on it. It's making it a little easier to work with, but it feels really, really nice. It's going through stuff, no problem. Holding its edge real nice. I really can't say anything bad about this knife, especially at the price. It's, yeah, bell pepper test with the Sakon Ginga really performed well, made it through the skin, no problem. Even as we made it through the whole thing here, no real loss of edge or anything, I would say. Still feels nice and sharp. Really nice brunoise on this as well. So really impressed with this knife. We'll see how the others perform, but that's a strong showing to start us off here. Tsunehisa bell pepper test. Here we go. Yeah, again, very nice. And I know I keep saying this, but the handle on this guy just feels fantastic. I might have to take one of these home with me just for the handle. I can definitely feel like the length definitely has a lot to do with it. I definitely noticed the even though it's only 180 compared to 165, I definitely do notice a difference. I'm able to sort of lengthen my strokes a little bit more with the Sakon Ginga than I am with this guy and the Anryu, but this performs super well. I'm really happy with this guy on the bell pepper. Yeah, no loss of edge. Exactly the same as the Sakon Ginga. Like, I really have nothing bad to say about it. If it was 180 millimeters, probably get the edge over the Sakon Ginga. But I'm gonna say we're kind of in a very close race here. I don't want to say one or the other is winning right now. We're kind of in a deadlock going into the third knife here. Okay, last knife for the bell pepper test is the Anryu. Here we go. All right, this one's feeling good, but it's definitely lost a little bit of the oomph on the edge here. We did use this knife in a previous video, so it did come in with a little bit of a handicap, if I'm being honest. These two are brand new out of the box. This guy we've used a little bit, and then we just, like I said, touched it up on the strop a little bit before we used it. So maybe not a fair apples to apples comparison here. It's still performing really well, as you can probably see. And maybe if we had touched it up a little bit better before the testing, it would have performed better. But I cannot give the edge to this guy. It performed really well at this. And it feels really nice in the hand. It looks beautiful. All three of these knives performed really well at all of the tests, but I'm gonna have to give a tie to the Sakon Ginga and the Tsunehisa on the bell pepper test, which I believe brings us to 1 point each for the Anryu and the Tsunehisa, and 2 points for the Sakon Ginga. Look at that. The most affordable knife coming in for the win here. Really cool battle today, I thought. All three knives are very similar. They've all got those Western style handles on them. All three of them are sort of on the more robust side. You do still have to be careful with your knives, of course, if you're getting into a Japanese knife. But I would say these three knives are probably going to give you the least issues in terms of like rusting and chipping and stuff like that. But yeah, the winner being the Sakon Ginga at 180 millimeters, Nashiji finish, Ginsan steel, one of the most affordable knives we have in the shop as well. So punches well above its weight class, and looks really beautiful. I would maybe say, like, in terms of the beauty award, that it may come in last, but I guess that depends on your preference. I personally think the Anryu looks the coolest. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed that battle of the blades. Make sure to leave some comments down below letting us know what kind of tests you want to see us put these knives through and what knives you want to see us battle next. All three of these knives will be available on the site for a discount because they've all been used. So check that out. They should be up at the time that the video is up. If you just search Scratch and Dent on our site, they should pop up. Yeah, if you enjoyed this video, slice that like button, subscribe to our channel for more knife related content, and until the next one, stay sharp.